Oh, come on. Hello everyone, it is Briximus Prime, back for another Transformers Studio Series action figure review, and today we're going to be taking a very special look at the Transformers War for Cybertron video game, Gamer Edition, whatever, Optimus Prime. I've been looking forward to this. And now let's take a look at the packaging right up front here. Oh, we got that glorious image of Optimus Prime right there on the front. Transformers War for Cybertron. It's got number 03 Studio Series Gamer Edition Optimus Prime Hasbro Transformers Generations War for Cybertron. It is so nice to see that logo. And here on the side of the box, got that nice Optimus there. We do have a nice little unique Gamer Edition logo there at the top instead of an Autobot logo. Speaking of an Autobot logo, authentic Transformers! Optimus Prime right there, and stuff that we'll be looking at in the review. It says Studio Series. I like this nice little silver highlight here they have for the game, and I love how they use the game model right here. It says he's a Voyager class, and that's mostly it for the packaging. There is one more thing to look at. And it comes with this very nice background, which actually is a nice background from the game itself, and you're able to have some nice display options with Optimus there. And here's now taking a look at Optimus Prime's accessories here. First off, he comes with his little ion blaster, which does have some waffling on it, but overall I think it looks pretty good. It is cast in this gray plastic, which isn't too bad, but part of me does wish that there was still maybe a flip-out handle or peg here, because technically they want you to have this on the figure like so. They want you to disarm Optimus, pun intended, and they want you to arm him up with the gun like so it makes it look like the transforming arm gun thing like it was in the video game, which is a cool feature. I just wish that it was an option to do it like that. But when you do have the gun attached to his arm, what you can do is you do have a place to store this arm here. Basically, there's a little peg right there, and you can just shove it up his butt. There's all kinds of wrong being said here. And of course, it looks completely awkward from any angle. No. Optimus does also have the axe blade here, which does look pretty good with the mechanical detail, though I do feel like the painting here on the blade is subpar. It doesn't really get that glowing effect that I want, but it's pretty good, I'd say. It does have a hinge joint here, so you can open it up, and you can have the option to have a double-bladed axe instead of the single-bladed one. Very nice. You also can get more mileage out of this by disassembling the handle. Comes in multiple pieces, so you can like interchange these around, and you can have all kinds of fun with just coming up with different configurations for this. The reason why this is also a reason is so that you can slide this piece in, and now it looks like he's holding the axe from in the middle. And I guess that's a good way to kind of do that. Since he doesn't have opening hands, that is a good way to make him hold the axe from the middle. But sadly, besides holding it, this guy doesn't really have any place to store the axe anywhere else. And of course, Prime does also feature the... Oh, the magnificence! And yeah, when I first saw these figures get revealed, I was obviously hyped.
My God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm! Wait. Everybody calm down!
And oh yeah, I will say this right off the bat, this Optimus does not disappoint. Like, there are some things I have to complain about here and there, like I said with the gun arm and storage, but like, it's just the positives still outweigh the negatives. Especially this head sculpt here. The head sculpt looks absolutely amazing. I love those blue eyes. I would have liked some light piping, but I'm still glad that they painted him so it's easy to see. The silver on his face really pops, really highlights. And the red here looks very good as well. And again, the silver definitely brings out some good highlights on him. Like, there's literally not a part on this guy that looks boring. He even has great detail in areas that you wouldn't really think of. Like, he even has like great crotch detail. Please don't take that out of context. Absolute eye candy to look at. And this guy, I should also mention, is very chunky and very weighty. He feels like a Voyager. And his back actually doesn't look that bad either. Maybe this little bumper thing should have flipped in these little bits should have flipped in a little more just to make it a little more cohesive, but overall I think they still did a great job with the back, which is pretty good considering that it's the back is what you see of the character most of the time in the game. So I'm glad that this guy looks good on all different angles. I am worried that over time this could potentially end up becoming a loose peg in there and the arm's just going to keep falling off the peg. That is a worry I do have, but as of right now it feels perfectly fine. Hey Optimus, you look like you could use a hand. I just can't help but smile. Like, this guy has just brought me so much joy to handle him. I do love how this guy turned out, and he just... There's not a whole lot of figures nowadays that really bring me as much joy as I've had when I was a little kid, but trust me, there are some of those figures. There are just so many different kinds of figures like that that just bring me that childhood excitement and wonderment again, that there's probably too many of them that I can't even fit all of them in a video, but point is, this guy is definitely one of those figures. To make this figure that little bit more spicy, yeah boy, this guy does also feature some amazing articulation. He has a nice ball joint at the head, which allows his head to look up that far, which is pretty good, and down that little bit, can pivot from side to side, and it can swivel from left to right. Just be careful of these ear thingies, even though I am kind of using them to help grab the head to move it. I am worried that these could possibly break over time, so just be aware of those. Shoulders can rotate a full 360. He does have a little bit of some butterfly movement, but it's so minimal that it barely does anything. And his arms can move outward that far. He does feature a bicep swivel. Little over 90 degrees of bend at the elbow. Same thing goes for the one that is removable. He does also have some wrist swivel as well. Would have liked some opening hands, you know, for a Voyager like this, but it's not too big an issue. It's just a small nitpick. He does get a very nice waist swivel, which doesn't feel too tight or too loose. Nice hips, which can kick very far, I mind you. I was really impressed with how high this guy can kick, especially for him being very chunky. His legs can move outward that far. Again, due to the angular design, I was not anticipating that. He does also feature a nice tight thigh swivel, 90 degrees of bend at the knee, and then his ankles can't really move. Oh gosh. All around me are familiar faces. That goes in, right? That goes back in, right? Yeah. Oh, thank God. That scared me for a second. His feet can move down a little bit, and then they can shift down, and then he also gets some slight ankle pivot. So, very good articulation. Actually, I'd say it's fantastic articulation on Optimus Prime. I just wish that he had opening hands just to add that spice. Starting off our comparisons, here is Optimus compared next to the Fall of Cybertron Deluxe Jazz. The Fall of Cybertron Deluxe Class Shockwave. Hasbro, please do this one next. The Thrilling 30 Deluxe Class Skywarp, who's, you know, based directly after the War for Cybertron game Seeker mold. The Voyager Class Fall of Cybertron Sound Blaster. This is a Voyager class? Man, $30 used to get you a lot more back in the day. Thanks to my friend, here he is compared next to the Fall of Cybertron Deluxe Ultra Magnus. Again, I don't have access to the Optimus Prime, but you're getting the Ultra Magnus, so quit your crying. It's my channel. Shut up! Now let's get into Optimus Prime's transformation. Into a paperweight? Or maybe it's a slipper? And taking a look at the truck mode for Optimus Prime, the vehicle mode looks really good. I like the tires, and again, the silver highlighted parts really give a very nice, higher quality look to the figure. The blue and everything looks fine, and I like the smokestacks. All the mechanical detail and panel lines look great. And one of my favorite things about this figure is I do like how weighty it feels and how much of a brick it feels in the vehicle mode. I also appreciate this little bit of red that goes in between the red plastic and the blue. That red paint doesn't make a good transition from the red to the blue. Makes it feel a lot more natural. And overall, the vehicle looks pretty good. We were this close to perfection. Yeah, I've really got to hand it to Hasbro here. I don't like how the
We all know I'm not that funny. Let's just move on.
But hey, at least this guy rolls pretty well, I'd say, right? And also, at least it's game accurate. I mean, that's definitely got to be the important part about it. Game accuracy's thrown out the window with this BS. Now, you can't notice it upon first glance, but there is a weird thing with the blue plastic here. If you shine it in the light, you can see it a little better. There's this weird, like, grainy stainless steel, or even almost like 3D printed kind of look here on the back of the legs. That is how it came out on the back, out of the package. Like, I don't know why it looks like this. On the crossover figures Gigawatt, on his alternate mode parts, he has this like grainy stainless steel look. It's just a weird thing that I noticed, but again, you wouldn't have noticed it upon first glance unless you actually gleaned it in the light, or you could really feel it with your fingers. Now, this guy does have weapon storage. Basically, you just take the gun and you stick it with the axe right here, and basically you take this and you stick it right here.
Holy Jesus. What is that?
For comparisons, here's Optimus Prime with that original Fall of Cybertron Jazz. Here he is with Shockwave, Skywarp, Sound Blaster. Even though I do diss on Hasbro for doing the whole downsizing of Voyagers here, these two are actually pretty close to being pretty sizable. And then here he is compared next to the Ultra Magnus. And yeah, that is basically it for my review on the Transformers Studio Series Video Gamer Edition Optimus Prime. And yeah, this figure is good. I am genuinely satisfied with both modes. Like, yes, there is that ugly gap in the back of the truck, but I actually am still really satisfied with the figure. Like, he turned out looking great in the vehicle mode, he looked good in the robot mode, and again, I'm satisfied with the vehicle mode because everything holds together, it's nice and weighty, it feels like a Voyager. Like, I feel like I am getting my money's worth, even though there is the gap in the back. Just to give you a better idea, the rating I give this figure is I give him a very solid 9 out of 10. Like I said, I'm really excited for this figure. I just feel like a character as important as Optimus Prime, Hasbro should have really taking the proper precautions in making sure that this guy was absolutely perfect. Because, I mean, this is going to be your definitive video game Optimus figure for the longest time now. So, like, he had better have been perfect, which I would say we were very nearly there. So, yeah, that is basically it for this review. If you guys enjoyed it, give me a like on the video, comment down below what you guys think, subscribe to the channel for more Transformers and action figure videos, and I'll catch you guys next time.